Hello again. So we're here. It's been 3 weeks. We've had a little bit of crazy time in the world of Magimix. So we did miss a week, but that's okay. We're here and we'll get on as many of these as we possibly can to make sure that you're all cooking with your cook experts and using your fabulous food processor. So tonight we're going to do a Tuna Mornay. So it is a really simple dish, and it's a really quick recipe as well. So it's one that I sort of worked on and sort of added and changed, and I'm actually really liking it. So it's a really good one. This is sort of silly season. We're getting really busy. It's a really great time to have some really quick meals up your sleeve. And quite often we have all of these things in our kitchen. So a can of tuna is a really great standby. Onions and a bit of butter, some milk and some flour, and then vegetables. So I've chosen to do it with mushrooms and also some peas and some corn, which I've actually just used from frozen. So again, things that you're going to have as staples in the kitchen. It's a really nice Aussie kind of meal as well. So it's a really good one to be able to have as a staple that you add to your recipes each week or every fortnight. But yeah, really simple that we've got all these things in our kitchens pretty much ready to go. So I've given you all a couple of minutes now. Hopefully you're all on and ready to cook with us. So again, just to check that you've got all of your ingredients, we've got our onion, which I've just chopped in half. We've got some butter that we're going to add to that in a minute. We've then got our flour and our milk, which we're going to do with to make our white sauce that goes with our Tuna Mornay. And then we've got some vegetables with our mushrooms, corn, peas, and then of course our tuna. You could add zucchini to this. You could add a can of asparagus to this. You could add fresh asparagus if you wanted. There are so many things, and depending on the season, that you might want to add to your beautiful Tuna Mornay. So it's a really versatile dish to be able to do. So we're going to get started. It is a really quick dish, like I said. So let's get it going. So we're going to start, of course, by chopping up our onion. So I've just popped that in there. I haven't used a huge onion, so if your onion is really big, you might not want to use all of it. So just a nice small brown onion is what we've used. And then we're just going to use my new favourite button, which is our pulse button. So we're going to go into our expert mode, but for now we're just going to hit our pulse button. A couple of goes. I think I'm actually good with just the two. So let me just scrape down the side. So if you want to come and have a look at what that's done just by using that pulse button, it's just really amazing. So I'm just going to scrape the sides of that down. If you want your onion a little bit smaller, by all means, you can go again with your pulse button. Oh, the onion always stings the eyes. Okay. So I might just actually give that one more little zhuzh. And I am happy with that. Okay. So we've got that done. Now when you make a bechamel sauce, you normally don't have onion in it. So you've got your butter and your flour and your milk. But with this, we're actually going to have the onion in there. But I'm going to cook the onion first of all with some butter. Okay, so it was one that I'm really glad that it's worked so well, that we're using, actually I'm using, it's based on the bechamel sauce, just a slight change with a bit more milk, that actually comes in the fabulous cookbook that you all received with your cook expert as well. So I was always a bechamel sauce maker in the microwave, so let me tell you, this is amazing that it does that for you. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on to, let me just double check. So 3 minutes speed 3 on 110. Okay, so speed 3, 110. And then of course just for 3, oh, wrong way. Everything's difficult backwards and upside down. 3 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to get that going. Now I do like to take the cap off because I want that onion to sort of stir fry, not to steam and to go all, a lot of moisture in there. So we're going to get that going for 3 minutes and then we'll move on to the next step. The great thing with this recipe is that after the 3 minutes, we're then going to add the milk and the flour for 5 minutes, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients for just 4 minutes. So as I said, it's a really quick, easy dish that you can have whipped up for the family in less than 20 minutes, including your prep time. So it's a really, really simple one. What I'm going to do tonight, because we don't obviously have a lot of time in between, but I wanted to show you, a few people have been asking about the juice extractor that you can actually buy to add onto your food processor. So I wanted to be able to show you that tonight. So basically what it comes with is it comes with our lid, comes with our pusher, comes with this here, which is the basket to hold the fruit as we're putting it in. Also then comes with your juice extractor. And then it comes with an extra piece that we call our extra press. Because what I wanted to show you today, as well as some simple oranges, is what this can do with your raspberries. So we're starting to think of Christmas and all of those things. You'll have people that you're entertaining, you'll have friends and family visiting, and it's a really great time of year to be using all of those beautiful seasonal fruits that are available to us. One of the things when they say when you are making juice is you really should drink it on the day that you make it. Okay, so what I suggest is quite often I'll just have fruit chopped up at the start of the week, pop it into the fridge, and then as I'm ready to use it, I just throw it into the juicer so it's fresh and beautiful on the day. So it gives you that more fresh, not been sitting there in the fridge for a little while, all those beautiful nutrients that are coming out as well. But I wanted to show you the difference between using just the juicer and then adding the press as well. So I'm going to show you that. So it's just as easy as you've just popped on the large bowl for your Food Pro, and we're just going to pop in our juicer like that. I'm going to do it without the extra first, and I want to show you the difference when we do our oranges. And then I'm going to pop on the lid. Oh, no, I'm not. What have I missed? Oh, no, I haven't missed anything. Pop on the lid. See, I told you anyone can do this job. It just didn't look right. And then we're going to pop that one on there, and then we put our press. So let me just check that that's on Food Pro. So this is still using the food processor to actually push our fruit through. Now I'm just going to check this because I'll get started and then this will stop. I've got 30 seconds, that'll give me plenty of time. So what I wanted to do is show you the difference between using the press and using the extra press. Okay, so are we ready? So this is finished, so I'm going to get onto this because we want to keep moving with this as well. So I'm going to show you in a minute how the juice comes out of that and then show you the difference. Okay, so we're going to now be popping in our 65 grams of flour, and that's just plain flour, nice and easy. And I'm going to be popping in 600 mils of milk as well. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do that on speed for 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll go up to 5 minutes. So basically when you make the bechamel sauce, it's 9 minutes, but I've cut this in half or almost in half to add the ingredients on the way. You don't want to add everything yet because otherwise these things will be overcooked. Okay, so then we're going to go up to speed 4. And we're going to go down to 95 degrees. Okay, so I'll repeat that. 5 minutes, speed 4, 95 degrees. Okay, so I hope you all got that. Don't forget Rose is there, lovely Rose, to answer your questions as we go as well. We always love your feedback as well. So, we're doing this tonight because somebody was asking for some really quick, simple, day-to-day family meals. So I think this is a really good one to be able to show you. So we'll get that started. 5 minutes, speed 4, 95 degrees. Okay, and I've popped the cap back on. So we'll leave that to go. So, with our juicer, I want to show you, I'm going to grab an extra plate. I'll just grab this. I want to show you the difference. So, when we tip this juice into our glass, okay, so let's just leave that there. And then, I'll show you what this actually leaves. So if you want to come in and have a look. it leaves your pulp really quite dry. Now you can actually use this now to actually put into muffins and cakes. So it doesn't need to be wasted and thrown in the garbage bin. It's something that you can actually use. So, you know, an idea is to, you know, have a look at what you could actually do with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the press, and then I'll show you the difference. Okay, so that just slots into there as well. And then we're going to put our top back on, and I'm going to show you the difference with this. Okay. What this actually does is gives you then the pulp with your juice. So you know when you go to the grocery store and it's either, you know, pulp free or with pulp, and this is exactly what I've done by doing it this way. So then you can see the difference between the two of them. Okay. So hopefully you can see, if you want to come forward, that one of those has got the pulp in there and one of those is actually quite smooth. So I'm hoping that you can see the difference. But you can see in here, when I emptied it into the first glass, it didn't actually leave a whole lot of juice on the outside. So you can see the difference with that. And then when we're pulling out our pulp, again, it's just nice and easy, nice and clean to be able to pull out of our machine. And that's what, if you're wondering what this spatula is for, this is a really great one to be able to wash and clean this with. So we just take off the rim, and I do want to give it a quick wash because I want to actually show you what I can do with raspberries. So I'm just going to give that a really quick rinse. We don't want oranges in our coulis. And I'm just going to show you now how with the spatula, so the small side of this little plastic spatula, just runs straight around the edge, and if you come in and have a look at how clean we're able to get that by just scraping that out. It's a great thing to be able to, like I said, use for your muffins and things. So I'll just give this a quick little rinse. So how are we looking on the time there? I reckon about 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Okay, I'll give that a quick rinse. And again, nice and easy to clean, so it's not one of those things that's going to take hours to clean. We're just going to give that a quick rinse. Okay, beautiful. Probably should rinse that too. I need to wash your upper row if anyone out there wants to volunteer. Okay. That's done. But you can see as well how quickly we can just rinse and move on to the next thing that we're doing as well. So let's give that a quick rinse so I can show you. Noise going on there tonight, isn't it? Okay. I just need to have 47 different bowls and then I don't have to rinse anything, do I? Okay. So I've got our base back on for our Food Pro. I'm going to pop that on. So I want to show you how we can turn our raspberries into raspberry coulis really simply. So quite often with a raspberry coulis, let me just get to this. Okay, so let's just remember raspberry coulis and we'll be back there in just a minute. Okay, so if you want to come in now and have a look, I'm going to get a spoon actually just to show you. This is the bechamel sauce, and this is only 5 minutes into the program. You can already see that that's starting to thicken up absolutely beautifully. So I hope that you're all getting the same result, but all the little lumps in there is just the bits of onion. So it's coming together absolutely perfectly. Okay, so now we're going to add in our vegetables. So like I said, you can add anything. So I love zucchini, canned asparagus is really nice in this dish as well. So we're just going to pop in 200 grams of peas, 200 grams of corn. You have to have corn in tuna mornay. I don't care what anyone says, it's a staple. I like mushrooms, so I'm adding mushrooms into mine. And then of course we're going to crumble in our tuna. If there's a bit of juice in there, it's okay. I've just used tuna in spring water for this one. Okay. I'm just going to give that just a little bit of a stir. It doesn't really need it because it'll just come together beautifully by itself. What we're going to do with this one is now I'm going to just pop it on for 4 more minutes, okay? Because our corn and peas are snap frozen and they'll cook really quickly in the heat of what we've already done here. We've also then got the mushrooms that will cook really beautifully as well. If you feel that you need to cook it a little bit longer, just put it on like a low temperature, 60 degrees, and just put it on 0 for speed and just let that sort of heat through, or even a 1A, just to stir it occasionally. But honestly, when I did it the other day, I didn't need to cook it any longer. I was more than happy with it. Okay, so we're going to stay on 95 degrees and we're going to pop down to speed 3 and we're going to go, whoop, we're going to go for 4 minutes. So you can see how quickly dinner is coming together tonight. So if you're jumping on late and catching up, you'll be fine. Okay, so we'll pop that on. And then that's going to just start to stir all of that in first. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. And if you think that it needs to be stirred in, then absolutely. And that's what I love about the glass top here, is that you can see exactly what's happening. So if you feel that it needs a little bit of a stir, then absolutely give it that little bit of a stir. Okay, so now I want to show you what we can do with those raspberries. I get really impatient. I'm watching it going, oh, I want to stir it, but it will do it for you. Just relax and step away and leave it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is with the coulis, is I'm going to pop in this time our extra piece as well. I'm going to pop our, oh, hang on, we forgot this part, this important part. So we need to make sure we've just clicked that back in. Okay. I'm sure all of you are screaming out there at the moment going, you've got to put the ring on. But it's okay, I've done it, I've worked it out. Okay, so now we're going to pop on our cover again, like so. I'm going to pop on my capture dish holder at the top. So I've got that on nicely. But you'll be so blown away at, you probably don't realise how many seeds are in raspberries, and this is what this is going to show you. So I'm going to pop those raspberries up the top. I'm going to check that. See, it's all coming together beautifully. Do you want to come and have a look at how beautifully it's coming together? So look at that. It's just amazing. Okay, I've got to stop playing with it, but it's already smelling amazing. So I hope that you can all smell that. The other thing I was going to tell you with this too is you can add in mustard. So if you want to add in some, mild English mustard, or if you want it a bit spicier, a Dijon mustard, but you can add to this as well. So it's lots of things you can do to make it that little bit different. And I've got some really great ideas on what to do with it at the end as well. So I did mention to you, you could do it with your pasta or your zoodles, but we've got some other ideas as well. Okay, so are you ready to see these raspberries turn into a coulis? Okay, let's turn that on. That's how easy it was. 1 punnet of strawberries done and ready to go. Now, I did get that plate out to show you, but let me get another one. I want you to be able to see how thick it actually turns out. And this, I noticed actually that blackberries are on sale at the moment and come into season, so that would be a really good one to put through here as well. But I wanted to show you, because I just was quite blown away with how well this worked. So first of all, I'm going to show you. I'll get you to come in just a sec. Let me just take this off. But I want you you to come in and have a look at what has been left in here. And as you can see, it's seed. So look at all those seeds that were actually out of your raspberries that we've just pulled out. And then I can show you what this has done. It's absolutely amazing. So let me just bring this out for you. Actually, it's probably not the best thing. Let me just put it into this one. But if you want to come in again, and you can see how that has come together absolutely beautifully. And what would you do with a raspberry coulis? So this is something that I would use to put over the top of my, dressed pavlovas. You could add it to a cheesecake. You could do so many things. So anything that you would put raspberries with, you can add it onto your beautiful cakes and things as well. But a really nice addition for your desserts and a really nice thing to be able to do this close to Christmas. So have a look at how beautifully that has come together. And while we've cooked a tuna mornay, we've managed to squeeze juice and make raspberry coulis. So I think that's pretty cool. So that is our juice extractor. That is an extra thing that you can add on, and some of you may already have. So I'm going to go in now to this tuna mornay, which I have to tell you is smelling absolutely amazing. So if you want to come in and have a little look, you can see the steam coming out of that. You can see that everything's come together. We started this recipe at 6 o'clock or just after 6 o'clock. It's now 6:20 and it's done. So in that 20 minutes that you had, you could have had your pasta on, you could be doing your zoodles, you could be doing your rice, depending on what you want to cook this with. But this is a really amazing, quick, easy dish. It's really a cost-effective dish as well to be able to do. It's a really great one to freeze, so I wouldn't put the pasta with it. I would just freeze the sauce as it is, take it out when you need it. But another really amazing thing to do with a tuna mornay is I add the can of asparagus and I add some zucchini as well, and then put it into a baking dish and then top it with mashed potato. So no pasta, nothing else under it, mashed potato, cheese, and pop it into the oven, and it is amazing. So that is a really, really good one to try. Tonight I did suggest maybe some cheese and some breadcrumbs, pop it into your baking dish, pop that over the top, voila, ready to go. So really, really super quick and a really beautiful one to be able to do. So I hope you all enjoyed. This was a really quick one tonight. I hope that, those of you that have asked to see the juice extractor, that gave you some really great things to do with it. But as you can imagine, there's so many, so much you can do. You can make a passata with your tomatoes. There's lots of things that you can do with the juice extractor. So, by all means, if you've got questions, Rose is there answering away. If you've got ideas and suggestions of what you want to see, some recipes, I've been working on a bosciola, so one that you can either add chicken or not add chicken, that you can have with your pasta or your zoodles. So I think that's probably one that we might do next for you, because that's one that I'm really, really enjoying putting together. So, as you know, at the end of every one of our shows, we like to give you the opportunity to win one of our fabulous cookbooks. So what I'm going to ask you tonight is, I'm going to ask you actually, what I want to know is, what is your favourite thing about our Cook Expert? Okay? So what is the thing that you found to be the best thing in your life, having purchased and be using your very own Cook Expert? Because we'd love to know why people, absolutely loving it, jumping on, cooking with it. But tell us what you love about it. We'd love to hear. So thank you so much. Again, I know it was a nice and quick demonstration. Please enjoy your tuna mornay. It smells absolutely amazing. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.